Hello everyone and welcome to my bar. My name is Ansel Birch, the Indecisionist, and I will be your dungeon barkeep today. Now, I am no expert mixologist, but like anyone tending bar this side of the orc caves, I have an adventurous spirit and a willingness to try most things once. So I don't have a call list or a menu or anything for you to pick from, but I do have a set of gaming dice, and I tell you what, I will roll the dice to see what goes into a cocktail, and I'll try it before I ever ask you to. How's that sound? Yeah? Does that sound fair? Cool. If it's good, you can make one yourself. I'll even tell you how. So, I think we're gonna go ahead and start with a D4. And that D4 is gonna choose some essentials for us. All right. So, 2 is a mixer. So we're gonna go ahead over to the mixers chart, and that is gonna be chosen by a D8. So let's go ahead and roll on that. I got an 8, which means we're gonna go over to the liqueurs and creams chart. That's right, we made this almost as complicated as AD&D. All right, so here's the liqueurs and creams chart. That is a 2. So we're gonna use Creme de Violette today. That's exciting. I haven't gotten to play with Creme de Violette yet on this channel, so really fun. I'm excited for that. But what's gonna go with that Creme de Violette? Let's go ahead and pick a garnish with a D6. We've got a 6 there, so we're gonna put some Creme de Violette and bitters together. A natural choice for no one in the world ever. But we still need to, put some liquor in this cocktail, so let's go ahead and roll a D10. We got a 9, which is vodka. Okay, so we're mostly going to be making a Creme de Violette starring cocktail. But I'm excited for that. Let's see how that is. The bitters ought to temper down the sweetness of the Creme de Violette. But yeah, that's an exciting concept. Yeah. So the next thing to do is prove to you that I might have a chance of making a good cocktail here by picking a bar term. This is a little pop quiz for you, or for me, to prove to you that I know a little bit of what I'm talking about after a year and a half of doing this show. So let's go ahead and roll that D12. I got a 9, and that's Jigger. Jigger is one of these little measuring guys that we use in bartending. You may have one of these at home, and it's usually an ounce and an ounce and a half, or 2 ounces. This is actually a ½ ounce and an ounce jigger here. And it just allows us to measure those smaller amounts of liquid that are going to go into a cocktail, because frankly, a lot of measuring devices just don't go small enough. They don't, accurately give you ounces or milliliters if you're going to do it in the metric system. Incidentally, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me go metric. I've been thinking about it, and it does seem like it might be better in the long run. But I'm based in the States, so all of the stuff that's easily available to me is in ounces. But I'm willing to put in the extra effort if you want to see it. So that's jiggers. It's all about measuring, and that's what jiggers are for. So the next thing we're going to do is pick a name for today's cocktail. Here's our drink names chart. Ooh. You can see that we've got 20 of them here, but this is from a list of hundreds of names that have been suggested by friends just like you online. And if you would like to add your suggestions to the chart, you can absolutely do that. Head on over to indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep. There's a link to a form there that'll let you put in those suggestions, and they're chosen at random every month to be a part of this list. So you can head on over to that website. That's again indecisionist.com/dungeonbarkeep, and there is a link in the doobly-doo. But let's go ahead and stop gilding the lily and roll this D20. That's a 6. Death blood. Death blood. This doesn't feel like a particularly death bloody sort of cocktail yet, but who knows? Who knows? Let's see which way the worm turns. Over on the bar top can. All right, we're going to build today's cocktail in a mixing glass. Add a few d6 of cold damage. So our primary flavor is going to come from this Creme de Violette. So let's go ahead and give it a fighting chance with an ounce and a half pour. Then we're going to go ahead and add some vodka. We're going to do 2 ounces of vodka. Because otherwise there just won't be enough liquid in this glass. Alright, there's 2 ounces of vodka for us. And finally, we are going to go ahead and hit it with some bitters. I have some Barkeep bitters from Bolivar here, and I will go ahead and give a hefty dose to the cocktail. There we go. And now we stir. All right, the last thing we're going to do is dress this up a little bit. I want to serve it in a coupe, and I've made good use of them so far this month. Skull Ice Cube. But how does Death Blood taste? Really nice. It's so good. Okay. So if you've ever had Creme de Violette or violet flavored candies or syrups or whatever, you probably knew that this was going to be successful. Violet has a unsurprisingly floral flavor. It's got a Creme de Violette has a citrusy sort of quality to it. I don't know where that comes from, but this is Giffard Creme de Violette. Ooh. And I don't know if that's something special to the way that they produce it, but it's got almost a liminess to it that is really complementary to the flower flavor, the flavor of the violet, as well as just being sweet. So it's very sweet by itself. Being a cream, that means that they've ensured that the violet flavor, the violet infusion, is not going to spoil by upping the amount of sugar in it as opposed to upping the amount of alcohol in it. So it's a preservation technique, and that sweetness comes through. So just like a creme de menthe or creme de cacao, whatever other creme you're using, that sugar is there for a reason, and it's here as well. And it also contributes really nicely to the sweet flavor of this violet liqueur, or violet creme. Seeing as we haven't put a whole lot else into it, I guess I have to give props to the bitters that we used. This is Bolivar bitters. I, honest to goodness, don't know where you would get this, because I bought it at a random bottle shop here in Chicago. My cave is located near Chicago, in case you didn't already know that. And I honestly have never seen it since. So I don't know if Bolivar, I don't know enough about the label. So Bolivar, if you're out there, let us know. I'll try and do some research as well. Maybe there'll be a link for Bolivar bitters in the doobly-doo. But I've had these for a while, and I'm a big, big fan. I really have enjoyed using these bitters over the last few years. And this Barkeep bitters is intended to have an herbaceous quality, like a celery. Let's see, it says cassia, chamomile, and dried fruits. So I guess it's not herbaceous. It's more vegetative, I guess would be the way to describe it. That chamomile and cassia with the dried fruits, and that's playing really nicely with the Creme de Violette. It's bringing out some of the sweetness and some of the floral nature of the creme. So yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff. Quilting Dancer says that she didn't know about creme liqueur. Yeah, that's what creme means. It means that they added a bunch of sugar. That's why they're so sweet. Juliet Hart asks if it's dangerously good, and I would say I wouldn't call it dangerously good. You definitely are aware that it's alcoholic. It's more of a sipping cocktail. It's sort of it's on the level of a martini, I would say, in the ability to like knock it back. You're definitely aware that you're drinking a cocktail. You're definitely aware of the alcohol content. But if you wanted a sippin' cocktail to enjoy over the course of, a conversation at a cocktail party, this would be a really good one. And as well as being really pretty, I mean, the color of this, for the first time, it's one of the few colors that's like really coming across well in the camera. So, yeah, I really appreciate the beauty of this cocktail. It smells nice. It smells like violets, unsurprisingly. And if you don't have Skull Ice, I think, honest to goodness, I don't think it needs the ice, but the ice is keeping it really cold, obviously. And I think that is serving this cocktail well. I think that this cocktail wants to be kept cold. So an ice sphere, maybe even just a cube, would probably be great in this. If you've got like a Collins glass, that would probably be the ideal vessel for this. I don't have Collins glasses around. I really should. So a Collins glass with a nice ice spear through it, that's probably a really good call for this particular cocktail. But yeah, I really like it. I really like it. And I've forgotten the name already. Again. Deathblood. I don't know how I keep forgetting Deathblood. But where does Deathblood belong in a cocktail? I think because it's called Deathblood and is so refined tasting, and maybe it's just the elegance of this coupe that I'm drinking out of, but this feels like the sort of cocktail that a diabolical mastermind brings into your situation. You've got your characters have fought against the evil wizard for however many sessions. They've crossed the continent. They've met all sorts of interesting and evil creatures. They've fought their way through dungeons. They've made their way through a creepy house that's haunted by a banshee. They've done all those things, and now they finally got to the end. And here is the wizard that is the cause of all the problems. And as he, stands as they stand at their workbench, where things are bubbling unnecessarily, and there's a big globe, maybe an armillary sphere sort of thing on a table there. The wizard doesn't even react when they come into the room. They just pick up this drink and take a sip, and then turn slowly around and say, "Ah, you've made it." And the purple of the drink offsets the color of the wizard's robes as they look everybody intimidatingly and seem to like peer all the way to the backs of their skulls, and not enjoying what it is that they see. Yeah, it feels. I hate that like really nice beverages tend to be associated with bad guys. In the same way that Bond, Blofeld, the bad guy from Bond, sort of ruined sitting in a swivel chair with a white cat for everybody. But that said, this is a really tasty cocktail, and while in an adventure, it absolutely has a place in the hands of your main antagonist, who you meet at the end in a maybe less than pleasant experience. I think in your life, if you wanted to make this at home, this is a pleasant experience. This is something to make as you're going into a night at a party, and you want something that you can sip on over the course of I don't know, half an hour, however quickly you drink your spirited cocktails. But it's really good. It's really good, and I cannot recommend it enough. So, Death Blood. Put it in your life, put it in your cocktail, or put it in your adventures. But most importantly, like, comment, subscribe on this video if you've enjoyed it. If you have thoughts about where you would put this cocktail in your adventure, or if you want to try it at home, let me know. It really does make a big difference if you engage with the video. But until next time, friends, the most important thing, drink adventurously.